It's hard to tell by just touching, but I think my big toenail is torn up. Even a little squeal sounds loud in the library, and that brings four other students to see what's happening to the girl. She can't explain. She turns bright red and says, I guess I just scared myself. The other kids drift away, and the girl goes to get her printout. But when she comes back, she picks up her stuff in a hurry and moves to a different workstation over by the windows. I feel my hands shaking. My breath is ragged. What if I had a real injury instead of a stubbed toe? Something serious, like if I had a broken leg and I'm in a heap in the stairwell and I'm losing consciousness. What then? And I don't know the answer to that. In a few minutes, the pain in my toe dies down a little, so I head for the third floor, slowly and limping a little, and I'm more careful. I know the third floor best. It's where they keep the old recordings. They've got walls of vinyl LPs and the old 78 RPM records and even wax cylinders from the first Edison talking machines. It's where they keep a collection about Chicago's music. I did a term paper about I did a term paper on the history of jazz in Chicago when I was in 8th grade. I had special permission to use the records and the listening rooms too. They're like recording studios. No matter how loud you turn up the sound, it doesn't leak out. I even played my trumpet along with some of the records, and no one came to tell me to shut up. That was one paper I didn't mind doing. The third floor is even busier than the fourth. I move carefully, taking my time now. I glide by on my bare feet. I look. I listen. I'm out in public, but I am completely alone. There's action all around me. People are doing things and saying things, but it's like they're in a different dimension, like they're on a stage or a screen. And me? Well, I'm just watching. An audience of one, watching secretly. I can't talk or sneeze or clear my throat. I can't pick up a newspaper to turn the pages of a book or switch on a CD player. It's like I'm a gnat. Fly around on my own and no one notices me, and no one could care less. But if the gnat decides to fly into someone's ear, that can be dangerous. I'm glad my big toe is throbbing. It's a good reminder that the rules have changed. Standing here looking at a photograph of Louis Armstrong, suddenly it's clear that I've learned what there is to learn about the library today, which is if you have to tiptoe around, you can't touch anything, and you can't open a book or even whisper, well, then what's the point? I hike back the stairs up to the fifth floor, and I don't even have to hold on to the railing. My feet know where they are now. At the washroom door, I stop and listen. All clear. Then I'm inside the toilet stall with the door locked. The ceiling tile slides easily to one side, and I've got my clothes bundle. And then, voices. Deep voices. The washroom door hisses open. It's two men. The door shuts and their voices get louder because once inside they stop thinking about being in the library. They talk in a language I don't know, standing side by side against the far wall. They finish, wash their hands, turn on both electric dryers, and then leave. They never stop talking. All this time I'm holding my breath. I don't know if they looked up to see the missing ceiling tile or not, and I don't care. All I know is they're gone and I'm not busted. Less than 2 minutes later, I'm fully wrapped and coming out of the stairwell door on the ground floor. I'm not running, but when I glance at the wall clock, I feel like I should start. It's 3:25 and my dad could already be on his way home from work. I don't feel like explaining what I've been up to. I don't have a book bag or anything, so I pass between the thief detectors and head for the exits at a slow trot. Can I catch a bus, or do I have to run the half mile with a bad toe to get home in time to keep my dad from throwing a fit? That's what I'm thinking. And by the time I actually reach the doors, I'm flying. Just then, Walt calls out from the desk behind me, "So long, Bobby." Walt's a good guy, so I turn and give him a quick wave, which isn't smart because I'm moving too fast. There's a blur on my right side. It's another person headed out the same door I'm charging at. There's no way to avoid the contact. It's a pretty solid hit, but neither of us falls down. Still, the girl's backpack drops to the floor and 3 cassettes go clattering onto the floor. I'm scrambling for her stuff and I feel like an idiot, and I'm saying, "Geez, I'm sorry, are you okay?" "I'm really sorry, here you go, I've got everything." I tuck the cassettes back into her bag and straighten up. Then I notice something else I should pick up, but for 2 seconds I'm frozen, locked with fear, because it's my scarf down there on the floor. I scoop it up and glance around, and I'm glad because there's nobody else really looking at me. But the girl is. She's looking right at the place where I'm uncovered, from my nose to my chin. As scared as I am, I can't help noticing how pretty she is. It's weird how she's smiling, and she's got this strange look in her eyes, and I'm waiting for the scream. I'm ready to take off running, and I'm thinking, "Oh man, I am dead." But the girl keeps smiling. As she reaches out for the strap of her book bag, she says, I've dropped something else. Over there, maybe?" And I look where she's pointing, and I see it, about 2 feet away. I put my scarf back on. Then I pick up the thing she dropped and hand it over. And I know why my invisible face didn't make this girl scream. Because what I hand her is a long, thin, white cane. This girl is blind. End of chapter 3.